Yeah, I think you can only go to uni once you, so I think that was out of the window. No, I worked in a bar. I worked night shift for a good 18 months and trained in the day and just tried to make a living best I could. Rented a flat, rented off another good mate of ours, graduate, went away, went to New Zealand, went to Australia in the winter, and just basically tried to fund, working at night to allow me to try and get to the next level and sign the first, bank loans. But yeah, pretty much straight from school, got a flat in Edinburgh, got a job, started working.
I'm delighted to welcome you to the Sports Dentistry podcast. This week in Dubai is my good friend, Scotland internationalist George Munsey. Munsey, thanks for making the effort to come today. We just arrived a few hours ago. George and I have been here for 3 full days and we've not seen a bit of sunlight. And we first start with you arriving. It would be really nice to the podcast and just hear a bit about your story. So thanks very much for spending the time with us.
No, pleasure to be here. I love Dubai. I've spent time with you as well. So open.
Yeah, so listen, me and you have known each other for a long time. The people who are listening to the show, can you just give us a little bit of a background, what it is that you do?
Yeah, so I am a professional cricketer. I played for Scotland and I'm very lucky and fortunate to travel the world playing the great game for cricket.
What a little bit more detail now. So, professional cricketer, when I was growing up, what does it mean? What detail in terms of the sort of leader? Fast forward 20 years, you're now in a really good position where because of your skill set, how good a kid you are, a lot of T10 and T20 franchises all over the world, asking me to an example now of being here in Dubai. Just talk us through that journey that you've seen, the stats playing cricket, and how you've seen the growth of the games, where you're at now.
Yeah, look, it's massive. I think when I started out playing cricket as a youngster, very much for fun, I was always trying to be a golfer growing up. But cricket for me was a bunch of mates going out there, trying hard, training together, playing together. And, these opportunities weren't there when I was growing up. However, just the way timings unfold and the way cricket's gone, it's just blown up massively. I think the opportunities are so big now for any cricketer, coming through, male or female, and it's just fantastic opportunities to go play in some very wonderful places and, get to travel the world and to go to, I think over some Caymans and often Malaysia, just fantastic countries that might not be known for their cricket. But you get to travel and showcase what you can do. And I think, it's everything's about timing in life. I've been very fortunate with the timing of T20 cricket, now T10 cricket. I think very good players before me, especially in Scotland, probably didn't get the opportunities to go out there and the experience franchise cricket. I think when I was growing up, the IPL was really the only thing that was going on. And now, every month there's at least 3 or 4 leagues happening. It's crazy and, very thankful for the time.
I'm always intrigued because before I knew more, I never had Habitat. I would never really associate cricket with Scotland because you don't have the weather. You don't have the weather, boy. What was the connection with cricket? Was it your family in it? Was it a school thing? I know school is a big influence on other people when it comes to sports. What was your connection to cricket?
Well, massively, I got a golf scholarship from a young age to come to Scotland. So I'm from England originally. And at age 12, I moved up on a golf scholarship, and that was really the start of me moving to Scotland. But I was very fortunate to have a coach, Michael Powell, that knew very well, who came to Loreto. It kind of shifted me towards cricket, and from 12 to 18, just trained in golf and cricket, but most cricket by the backstage of that, and the right people in the right place. So
Really?
I think so. I think when I was at school, there was a lot of good cricketers dotted around. I think that's kind of slipped a little bit. I think the pressures of life from scheduling and cost of facilities has made cricket quite exclusive and tough to really attract the next generation. But saying that, it's great to see the 19s out there now doing so well at the World Cup, and especially in the women's game, it has grown strength for strength. So I see a lot more opportunities now for, girls and women, especially in schools. But it's iron egg roles, full-time cricket coaches at every school, that sort of thing, and allowing the opportunity for everyone to get huge. I think that's really what gave me the kickstart to transition from golf to cricket. So I was 17. properly from turning from a social thing to, potentially a career.
Talking about the weather. So how do you're out here doing some training? Dubai's probably a better, from a weather perspective, a better place to be seeing as a cricketer than it is.
Wow, it's tough, isn't it? I think, you got to think outside the box a little bit. I think I'm very fortunate that, like, I use flights for comps to go do training. So thankfully, the comp I'm going to Malaysia has paid for these flights to get me here. So trying to navigate costs of travel and training is key. I think I try and tap into schools. I've been working with John Blaine, for example, at Edinburgh Academy School recently. They've allowed me to come in a day, which is, not open school. Lack of facilities is very tough. Indoor facilities, like you say, with the weather being so poor a lot of the time, getting access to these facilities, that's what I'm doing about, trying to get some sun and cricket.
But that's exactly it. And for the UK, it's a very quick flight. What about you? You're only talking about 7 hours, give or take, to be here, and then the weather completely changes, and you can be outdoors pretty much all day. And like I said, I've seen Dennis said there's some of the days because we've been here at the conference, but Jordan alluded to before, Aptan Absudu, who's one of the leading Scottish female cricketers, she was at dental school and she had to take her back for a few years. And I just spoke to her, I think it was maybe the last couple of months. She reviewed a new contract down south. And now the university have said, that's fine. But when you come back to uni, you have to start back again. How did you end up going down the cricket?
I can't remember exactly why I chose cricket or if there was a point, but I went to Australia in one of my last years of school and did a sort of school experience of the Southport school, out of like Sam Haid, cricketer, Eddie Stanley, another good cricketer. They were all there, and I remember taking my golf clubs and my cricket stuff and going out there to do both, but trying to work out for myself what I wanted to do. And I knew very early on that I could train all day cricket with a group of people, work hard, really enjoy it. And I know I can let it exist for more, but, being in Scotland, going to the range every day, it's cold, it was snowing, it's -5, wind chill, all this. And a lot of time you're by yourself as well. It's a tough grind to be a professional golfer. And the amount of time that I needed to put into the game to get any recognition of being a was a lot of hours by myself on the range, and I'm not sure I quite had that in me. And I think that kind of was the final factor. And really, cricket-wise, I didn't have much experience then. I was 16, 19. I played a bit of schools cricket, a bit of club cricket down in Oxford. But apart from that, I hadn't played much of it. So I didn't know what I was expecting. It was exciting. It was new. Shiny trigger bats and all that, shiny toys, you get distracted. But no, I think the team aspect of going away and traveling just sounded too good to be true. And, it's
Also, what difference there between individual sports and team sports people maybe didn't think about is that sort of team environment, especially when there's a lot of travel. So we spoke to, I think, about a days in Chicago, so with being sure golf. And he even spoke that from Joe aspect being a support member, how difficult it is to do all that traveling and being away from family and friends and stuff. So maybe a little bit easier in a team environment. But just touching back to when you were in school, like, when you were finishing up in school, were you thinking about, did you go to work? Did you work? Like, at what stage were you able to fully concentrate as a professional? Were you thinking about going to uni? At what stage did you make that decision to do this a whole profession?
Yeah, I think you can only go to uni once so I think I was out of the window. No, I worked in a bar. I worked night shift for a good 18 months and trained in the day and just tried to make a living. That's like good. Rented a flat, rented off another good mate of ours, graduate tree, went away, went to New Zealand, went to Australia in the winter, and just basically tried to fund, working at night to allow me to try and get to the next level and sign the first, back then. But yeah, pretty much straight from school, got a flat in Edinburgh, got a job, started working.
In sports dentistry, it's not just about treating injuries. It's about optimizing oral health for peak performance.
That's right, because when athletes push their limits, every detail matters, even their oral health.
That's why the Sports Dentistry podcast is being powered by Philips, true innovators in oral health technology.
Philips Sonicare toothbrushes use advanced sonic technology to disrupt plaque biofilm, removing up to 20 times more plaque than a manual brush.
And that's critical for athletes. With high carb diets, dry mouth, and frequent energy supplements, there are greater risk of caries and gum disease.
Philips backs evidence-based dentistry, giving us tools that fit perfectly into performance-driven treatment plans.
So whether you're helping your athletes recover, protect, or perform,
Elevate your protocol with Philips.
How did you find difference in your ability to be able to get up what you that only concentrate those pulls?
It probably got worse. I think having a distraction outside of cricket or any sport is. I found that again back in 2018. I was playing and coaching, and my life was cricket. And then I stepped away from the coaching side and took a little part-time sales job. And weirdly, my cricket sort of just through not thinking about cricket 24/7. So I think it's the top athletes who are 18, 19, 20 playing cricket or contracts to go out there for business work and get around what. You should realise the sport isn't everything in life.
There's going to be a lot of things initially, and the stakes are higher for you than your performance is determined if you're going to stay extra contracts or another contract. So you're always that's the small, not just to take the Scotland because we always have time to qualify for tournaments. It's carried as the other because you want to provide for families, enrich your family, I'll probably say. So mentally, how do you find that? And
I guess I was nice and relaxed until you said all that. Honestly, it's nice
it's an important topic, though. It's an important
nice evening on the pod. I think it's very challenging. It's very difficult. Thankfully, I'm very understanding that. I know every time I leave, it's tough. But I think for me, I need to do, and there's always sacrifices in life. A lot of sacrifices, and just whatever the finances behind it, day day out, and this is the way that I and have a very supporting family. I think last year and the year before, I spent 3 months in Thailand. So for 18 months, for 3 months, I makes you appreciate being there. And make sure appreciate just the smaller things. And even though Rebecca will disagree with me, that it takes me a little bit of time to get into the swing of things of being family life again when I get home. Once all settled down, it makes it very special. Look, I think I don't know any other way, and I want to challenge myself against the best. And that's Scotland with World Cups, or that's franchise cricket. I'm going to go out there and watch the windows and enjoy the right boss of that.
Give us a bit of an insight and people listening, what's happening with yourself personally in the next few weeks, but with the organisation in Scotland and Jim.
Yeah, look, I think as a franchise cricketer, your phone's always on. You don't know when you're going to be on the next flight to wherever you go. So it's interesting to hear it happening in the international stage. There's a chance that due to politics and things out of my control and a lot of cricket's control, that Scotland could still make it to the World Cup. It starts in 10 days, which is crazy. But do you know what? That's actually quite a lot of notice. I've had I was in Holland last year, sorry. We're playing a game, and I shouldn't say this, but I got the anti-corruption officer to open up his bag, get my phone, so I had to make a few phone calls to try and get to the PSL. I had to book flights, I had to make sure that I can make it to a certain date. We're in the middle of a one-day international game against Holland. Thankfully, I got a few runs that made it a bit easier trying to persuade the coach to make a few phone calls. But I just remember trying to sort of visas whilst the game was going on. And just
whilst the game was going on,
whilst the game's going on. So
that's obviously a rule you've had before.
You can't have your phone, so thankfully, anti-corruption were there, just looking at my.
Oh, were they watching you doing it?
Watched everything. And you're allowed for emergencies. You're allowed to have access to the phone, but it's got to be for booked out and checked and everything. So it's all fine, all above board, but it's just you've got to be ready to go, got to be ready to fly, and I think that after the last game, to like said, and the same thing's happening here. Potentially, we'll find out in the next 24 hours if Scotland gets the call to go to the World Cup. And, some guys might be ready. Some guys won't be. Some guys have played cricket for a long time because our schedule is, set out in front of us. We know when we're going to be playing. We know when we need to be ready. But,
We are delighted to have Ionate as a sponsor for the Sports Dentistry podcast. Are you looking for a water bottle that's built to keep up with your active lifestyle? Look no further than Ionate, the totally leak-proof water bottles with triple lock technology to prevent spills no matter where you're headed. With a simple one-touch opening mechanism, you can sip on the go without hassle. Plus, Ionate's sleek modern designs are not only functional but can be personalised just for you. Made from high quality steel, these bottles are easy to clean and best of all, they're sustainable. From 320ml to 1200ml, Ionate has the perfect size for you, whether you're just out for a jog or going on a long hike. And it doesn't stop at water bottles. Ionate also has travel mugs and flasks to keep your drinks just right wherever you are. Ionate have officially licensed water bottles for the NBA, NFL, MotoGP and British and Irish Lions, so you know you're getting the best. I have been using the bottles for a long time now and cannot recommend them highly enough. So head over to www.ionate.co.uk to get your hands on the best bottles in the business, bar none. Now back to the pod.
With cricket, there's different countries. You prep differently. So I'm going to Malaysia, like doing low slow wickets, slower bowlers, sort of training for that, not really training for like start running on a fast bounce and taking your head off. So as a cricketer, it's not ideal, but it's also, the exciting world of cricket is just, there's that tournament, there's the World Cup, there's this, you just got to be ready and flexible. And thankfully, I'm in a position now where, I've got a lot of support from all my family, just to, with the phones, I can pick it up pretty confidently. So yeah, like I think.
I want to touch on something that had an interesting conversation with Avatar when she was on about social media, the positives and the negatives of social media. And you went out when you had your phone during the hand option on it. She spoke about like she and some of her colleagues are getting a lot of use in social media from younger that were, and it was something that was that first time I heard it, that were maybe in the ground and then they were able to relay information back before people were able to make odds or changes and stuff. What is your experience being on social media?
I could probably pick up my phone now, see some of these from direct messages if you want. But that's just what we meant. So, my partner struggled with this. I had a bad tournament and I was, hundreds of messages on Instagram and Twitter and, direct messages and then things I say is horrific. But I'm a big believer. You got to experience the worst to appreciate the best. And I do think that, firstly, in live, thick skin, but it just makes the good times so much better. Once you've gone through some low points, not scoring runs, taking wickets for a period of time, the pressure builds. And then when you find that it's doing well, so I picked up the phone and said, that was pretty cool. I think it makes sense in moves.
Well, do you have any techniques you have strategies for dealing with that?
Yeah, I love to reply. Just send me back. Normally it's Steve Snell just sending me a message saying, "Oh, can you do better or something?" But no, and then he's our high performance manager. That's just a joke. But no, I don't mind it. I think some people look at it differently. Some people don't look. I think you just got to find what works for you. I think it could be a real positive thing, seeing all the negativity, because it means a lot when you do well, especially through your country. And you get all these messages coming through, and mostly family, friends, usual people. But then you get like a random message from someone that you barely know, and they're super proud of what you've been doing. And that's what.
I think mental strength is the biggest thing when it comes to elite athletes. That's the difference. What in the box still set, but actually, unless you're a feat with Messi or Ronaldo, let's start with Steve Smith. But actually, mentally, it's actually taxing the dentistry as well.
Because then I say that it's not that skillful. It's just
no, not skillful, but
it's nasty or something.
There you go.
Why twisting my words? Why are you like that?
Yeah, no, it's all worse.
We just spent 3 days ago and he stabbed me in the back again. It's just like he took the dagger. But what I'm trying to say is that in terms of dentistry as well, it's such a mental taxing area because you're in 4 walls and there's a lot of pressure. You're really such a sensitive part of someone's body. When it comes to oral health and what you're fueling yourself with, is that something you think about?
When I probably first started, no, not at all. I think since coming to see you probably about 8 years ago, I think when I started, and having some stiff conversations, but friendly, but some good advice, I think I've started to make some more sensible suggestions. I do think though sometimes, in the heat of battle and you just, I'll do anything to try and win the game, especially for Scotland. So if I need a bit of energy or something, just to, even if it's a placebo, even if it's just, to get it through, that'll come first, and then you've got to sort that out after. But I think 99% of the time, it's something that in the last 6-7 years I've really got to grips with, and I'm getting a lot better at. It's still learning along the way. And it's so important, because the last thing you want as an athlete is distractions, is pain, is quite comfortable situations, having to see too much. But I think once you get on top of things, you're getting good habits, much like cricket, much like sports, good habits make things a lot easier.
Have you had any experiences teeth-wise?
Was it just one more scared? Yeah.
Well, I think I just, was probably a little bit sloppy for my first year of my career, and eating too much sugary delights. However, when I was younger, I did have a golf club in front of my teeth, and that knocked a bit out. That's been repaired. Actually, you've repaired it. No, I've been very lucky. Thankfully, it's mostly like hands, and I think last year, tore my tendon off my groin. It's amazing, no, but I think that's a lot to do with my relationship with doing it, because I really like just having the same routine, seeing the same people. I don't like change. So I need to book in soon. Keep meaning to. I had a phone call last year, and I'm still to reply to that phone call. But to have the same person to speak to is quite key. So just you have that sort of relationship where they know where you've come from, they know what you do, they know what it takes as well to do what you do, which is so important. People probably don't understand how much sacrifice and what you put in to try and be at your best for either your country or whatever team you play for, and only sports people get that. It makes a lot easier.
We've had Andy Murray on CEO, or we've obviously said Davy Bruce cap, South African women's sevens captain in the Pool tournament. Now George Munsey, who's arguably Scotland's best players, and who's played for cricket worldwide and maybe in a World Cup. They're up there in height. Come and speak to us. So you put daggers in the back as usual.
And especially we're sitting here at the end of the day. The whole place is getting taken down around us. Back just disappear.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good list you got there. I'm sorry to disappoint.
No,
it's a cricketer from Scotland.
It means a lot.
Song? Like great.
Are they going to the World Cup?
Not sure.
It means a lot. It does mean a lot to both of us. We are making big effort to try and raise awareness about not just dentistry, it's athletes and what you go through and all that sort of thing. So, George, thanks very much for coming here to Dubai. Well, the noise is going around, I know. So, John hates cricket, and the first time a cricket game we went to was when it was still over 300 at South Africa, Old Trafford last year. He still did it.
I didn't know fishing. It's not my aim.
There's 10 hours of opportunities to have a few drinks and
socialise. It was a T20.
Oh, it's 3.5. Okay, 3.5. You'd be quicker.
Well, thanks very much to George for spending some time with us here in Dubai, and wish him all the very best for lots of things, for your cricket coming up, for your wedding. We'll see what happens with the World Cup. But thank you very much, man. Cheers.